How men and women interpret the concepts of need and want in relationships is a perfect example of how the attraction between the genders is asymmetric and not symmetric. When I say asymmetric, I mean that what men find attractive in women, generally speaking, is not the same as what women find attractive in men, generally speaking. The genders, in some very many ways, are attracted to the opposite things. Men kind of like prefer shorter women than them. Women prefer taller than them. Men generally prefer younger women than them. Women prefer older than them. And it goes on and on and on. Now, when it comes to the concept of want and need, the same thing plays out kinda, and I'm going to explain. If you are a woman, you probably hold the belief that you rather be wanted than needed. And if you are a man, you most likely will prefer to be needed than wanted. This creates some misunderstanding between the two genders, such that women will struggle understanding why would you want to be needed, not wanted. And men will not understand why a woman would say something like, oh, I want you, but I don't need you. And to the woman, it sounds proper because she's like, oh, I'd rather be with someone who wants me and not needs me. But to the man, it sounds horrible. But what do these words actually mean? Now, of course, there is the dictionary definition of want and need, but I'm going to use an illustration that will make it a bit clear to you of what's actually at play when people say, oh, I want you, I don't need you. When you say I want you and I don't need you, what you're basically saying, I have my plan, and that plan is so rigid, or is rigid to some extent, or significantly rigid, such that when you are coming into my life, I don't have much room to change so that I can accommodate your own plan. So what you have to do when you come into my life, you just have to accept my plan the way it is. That's what it is. That's to some extent that what it means to say, oh, I want you. Now, when I need you, it means, yes, I have my plan, but if you come into my life as a partner, I'm willing to make significant changes to my plan to accommodate your plan. Then why do two genders basically have different relationships to these concepts? Women prefer that they are wanted more than they are needed, and this because women will prefer a man who has achieved things, or a man who is on his purpose, a man who is a big figure, and they can just come into their sphere and they feel that that way they are going to be more comfortable. This man has a plan, has things taken care of, she doesn't have to worry too much about things, and that's the ideal for most women, at least. So because women find this kind of like it works so well with them that they are wanted and not needed, because when they are wanted, it means that the man is going to be on his purpose, is going to focus on building things, and then they will create things, and then everything will be okay for the entire family. If the man needs the woman, then it means that the man is going to make decisions that are going to be not for the good of the family in the long term, because they might get distracted. They are so much focused in her more than he is focused on creating and building, and of course creating the right environment for the family. So that's why the woman will rather, she is wanted than needed. But on the other side, men find one of the things that gives a man fulfillment in life is being needed. It's like there are people who uh, would basically even abandon their own plans and join my plan. That makes a man feel good, because like, then I'm a man if people can basically abandon their own plans, or life plans even, and just come unwillingly, just be like, oh, I'm going to abandon that, I'm going to abandon that, I'm going to change my plan significantly just to be in your life. And that makes a man feels good. But it doesn't make a woman feel good if a man is like, oh, I'm coming into your life and I'm going to change significantly my plans and everything, and even move cities and countries and everything, so that I'm going to abandon my work, I'm going to do that so that I can fit within your plan. In short term, it might sound good, but in the long term, women are not very comfortable with that, because that puts them in a position like she's feeling like, oh, I'm going to be the leader in this relationship, basically. And women don't want to be the leader in the relationship. They'd rather maybe equal, or she's a follower, or the guy is the leader. So yeah, so need and want depends on which gender you are talking to. And here I'm talking in general terms. Men will rather be needed and women will rather be wanted. The problem becomes when the woman, because she prefers being wanted, thinks that the man also finds it attractive when they are wanted. And on the other side, on the flip side, the problem becomes when a man thinks because he finds when a woman needs him more attractive or attractive, then he expects that he should need the woman so that she will also feel good. No, if she feels that you need her, she's going to feel you are clingy, and that's a problem. But on the other side, you don't need him, then he's like, why am I here? Then he feels like the relationship is not optimal, it's not working the way it should be working. So, but we are speaking in general terms here. Of course, there are exceptions. There are couples where the woman will feel okay needed and the man will feel okay wanted and everything. So those are my random thoughts.